disaster movies is you have to have a great relationship in the middle of it. The only reason people want to go through the action is if you care about the people who are in danger. So the center of Skyfire, it's a father-daughter relationship, which is very powerful and very emotional. And so even though there's lots of pyrotechnics, there's volcanoes exploding, there's cars being chased by lava, at the heart of it, it's a very emotional family story. So I think when you say a disaster movie, you expect great pyrotechnics and a great thrill ride, but you only can enjoy that if there's a great human story in the middle of it. Yeah, I thought it was going to be very difficult working in another language, but I actually found it not as hard as I thought, because emotion translates into any language, and obviously the action does as well. People just, if it's exciting to any audience, and if it's emotional to any audience. And I found directing in Chinese actually much easier than I thought, because if you've got very experienced, talented actors, you can tell that the emotion is working in the scene. And obviously I know what the dialogue is because I have an English translation. But the subtleties, I do rely on very good assistants and translators to identify any slight difference from one take to another in emotion or attitude. But then I also talk to the actors directly, and if they speak English, then it's very easy. A lot of the time I'll talk to them in English about the scene first. They'll talk to me about what they think the scene is about and how they're going to do it in English, and then they'll just perform it in Chinese. If it's an actor that only speaks Chinese, then I'll do the same conversation but through an interpreter. So it's a little bit more time consuming, but actually it's not that hard. It's very exciting. I think, China seems to be rapidly becoming the future of cinema, and it's a very exciting young industry here. So it's always nice to be associated with a young industry that's fresh, and I think sometimes in the West it's become a little stale and a little bit subdued, and people are a little pessimistic, whereas I think people are very optimistic here. And so it's nice to be in an environment where everyone's enthusiastic and excited about the industry and making great films. It's very similar to working in Hollywood. I think the difference is there is, as I said, an energy and an excitement here. So I'd encourage Western directors to come here, because they'll be working with people that are very excited to be doing what they're doing. They feel very privileged. It's a great privilege to work in the film business, and I think the Chinese crews and actors really sense that and appreciate what a great job they have. And so I think that's nice to be around. So Western directors coming in and working in that positive environment is very healthy. Yeah, I mean, there's IPs all over the world, and we are very familiar with a lot of the American IPs. And so again, it's more refreshing for me to come and discover new IPs here that maybe the Chinese audience know through books or graphic novels, or other previous films, but it's new to me, so it's exciting for me to have a whole new reservoir of material to draw from. I think film festivals are good for directors because they remind them of there's a whole community of filmmakers out there, and it's a great bonding situation, because directing a film can be quite solitary and lonely, because you're usually off in a jungle somewhere, or off a mountain, or in a studio on your own, and you have your crew, but really you're not really part of the whole film business, and so you forget that there's a community of people making films, and you don't get to exchange ideas or meet other filmmakers. So I think film festivals are fantastic for filmmakers, because we get to meet other filmmakers and get to talk about projects and past films and future films, and it gets you enthusiastic again and re-energized for making more films. Well, Hainan Film Festival definitely has that very relaxed island feel about it. It's very, the weather's nice and everyone's relaxed, and so it's a very pleasant environment to be in. So I can see why people would want to come here. No, you're not going to argue with anyone in the middle of winter in half the rest of the world about coming to Hainan for some lovely warm weather and have a film festival and watch some great films. So I think Hainan has got a great future as a film festival.